Hey, everybody. For the thought of the week this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about public experiences and joining. It's always interesting to me that older generations always tend to critique younger generations around how they're behaving and then end up doing the very things that they worry about. So I feel like boomers were really worried about the news and TV and internet really corrupting and making people scared and soft. And we know that Fox News has largely done that to that population. When I look at how Xers and Millennials are coming at things, they complain a lot about the younger generation and their screen time and how they put screens between themselves and the world. And I was really lucky. I probably spent too much money, but I got to go see Nine Inch Nails. And for those of you who don't know, they were a huge band forever. I think they still are for a lot of folks. For me, they were a really big deal in the 90s and 2000s. And they were one of the few bands I didn't get to see back then, back when I was a hooligan throwing people around mosh pits and the like. So I was really excited to go see them. And that meant that most of the people there were right around my age, right? They're all within kind of 10 years of me. So in their 40s and 50s and maybe late 30s. And what I noticed is when I was there, I was at the concert, right? I'm watching Trent Reznor and crew do amazing things, put on a wonderful show. And I look around the auditorium and there's all these phones. People have their phones and their screens out. And the people there are older, right? They're my age. And these are the same people that complain that their kids won't get out from in front of screens. But here they are at a community event and they're watching through their phone. And, you know, some of them are like doing the live stream thing where they're just holding on their phone on their chest. I imagine that's a little different. But I literally would look around and saw people with their phone in front of their eyes, not moving to the music, just recording the awesomeness that is Nine Inch Nails, instead of joining the rest of us and like screaming and getting amped with it and joining the room. And so I think what I want to share with this is when we look at the things that we're judging others for, judgment is really interesting. We know by the data that the things you judge most harshly are the things that you are most afraid of in your own life. They're the things that we feel most insidious about. So if you're really judgmental of infidelity, then maybe that's because you know that at times you're tempted and that you would be very ashamed if you followed through. If you're really upset that your kids aren't being social enough and aren't connecting enough because they're in front of all their screens all the time, maybe look at your screen habits, look at what you're doing, be a different model for them. Whenever we find ourselves in those judgment moments, it's because we're worried about it. And I think for me, the reason why I was like looking around and judging all these people at this concert is because in part, I do this for a living now. I'm between a screen and most of my patients. I'm between a screen and you as we connect and you listen to these things and you hopefully are helped by my thoughts. And I often think I get worried about being disconnected. And so this last weekend, I took a little bit of a phone cleanse. I got off of the screens. I got out with people. I went to a cookout. I made sure that I was in front of the people I care about instead of on the phone with or on a screen watching something. And I felt better. And I do think I'm a little justified in being a little judgmental of people hanging out at a concert, just watching through their phone. So I hope this helps. It was just a random thought for the week. Make sure that your judgments are tracking your behaviors more than they're tracking others. And if you can, make sure that the screens that you're using, the technology you're using is helping you connect with people instead of being in between you and connecting with people. Thanks so much for listening. This is Tim Winnicky with American Masculinity, wishing you the very best of weeks. Take care.